FIFA 2005. We're going to replay the Champions League final of that year, which, if you may remember, Liverpool played Istanbul.
That was
Liverpool played Istanbul. Liverpool played AC Milan.
Liverpool played AC Milan.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
I was in my prime for this.
How old were you?
So I'd have been 22. Yeah, 22 when we won the Champions League.
And we were going to play AC Milan. See, lads, I've never played this. I was also a Pro Evo man. Should we go together and I reckon we try and beat them together?
Okay.
If that's all right.
Yeah, no, even better.
I'm basically saying
I
we're
have
going
to
to
know
get
less of the buttons if you can do after work.
I think the game settings, let me be sure. So plan is, I know I've already told you, that we're going to try talk about current Liverpool affairs whilst playing this.
Yep.
So what could possibly go wrong?
So I used to have an entire YouTube channel dedicated to playing old footy games whilst interviewing people. However, it has been a very long time since I've attempted that, and I stopped playing FIFA games in like 2000 as regularly. So, I mean, I'm presuming this is modern controls.
I always change it to Pro Evo controls as well, but I haven't on this because, as you see, how long it takes to save everything.
Yeah,
it's about 5 million years old.
Yeah,
but yeah. So as I said, when the game goes on, we'll talk about current affairs, and then obviously you're here for the interview, which is going to come out in about 3 weeks' time.
Yeah.
So obviously this is building the anticipation where everyone sets their alarms for 3 weeks, and we need to make sure we've got the right team.
Give Hossamy the moments he always felt he deserved. Certainly in terms of the celebrations post-match. You'd think Hossamy started this game.
Right, here we go. Sorted. Right, so at time of recording, Liverpool have just beaten West Ham.
Yeah.
You were there?
I was.
How did you find that game?
More thrilling than I'd possibly expected or dreamt of. And actually in a way that I'm really pleased it was, because we could quite easily have ground that one out and made it, like a 1-0 game, or hey, look, even had the devastation of 1-1, and then you're thinking, oh god, this is all dragging on a bit long. To actually have that huge let-off moment,
made it more fun.
I presume you were in the cop for it as well.
Yeah.
So like that, you know what it's like. It's the best place to be on earth for moments like that, particularly at our end of the pitch. So the Virgil moment was terrific.
Yeah, it was on the brink of being, as you say, seen it out, boring, circle to shoot.
Yeah, right, okay. You know what? This might be a sit forward already.
Yeah.
I'm already sitting forward. That's how you know it matters.
So,
right, okay.
I'm red. Yeah.
X has changed, man.
Doesn't help that there's lots of lights that people can't see as well. But I put that claim in early.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made it more interesting. I said that to my brother. I was like, imagine if we just won the game. Well, that wouldn't be fun, would it?
Yeah.
Beats about 13 points clear. We'd all just be walking out shaking hands. So you saw that afterwards as well, and the concourse was boss, wasn't it?
Yeah, the whole thing was just great. It was, the weather has been great all week, and then you knew that the mood had kind of dipped a little bit in recent weeks. So
it's that 1 in 4, wasn't it, before? So
yeah, it was a bit of a been ridiculous. Yeah. But I think it was never as bad as it was kind of being made out.
Yeah.
So. But also, we needed to kind of prove that was the case. What colour am I?
Blue.
I'm definitely blue. Okay, so that's.
Well, if you want my precursor to that match, I was in Hamburg at a karaoke club at 3:30 in the morning on Saturday. Got a taxi from the hotel straight to the airport, flight to Frankfurt, 2.5 hour wait. Then a flight to Manchester where Annie, off screen here, picked me up, took me straight to the match at a KFC and met in the pub at 12. So I was impressed I was still awake.
Perfect preparation, that sounds like, for emotional distress.
Yeah, so imagine we'd lost.
Oh, God, yeah. That sounds like, it could have been absolutely horrendous. But I think that happens a lot in footy, modern footy. I think that might have been just me off the ball a little bit there.
Definitely.
I'm just enforcing. Just got to let them know. They're in for the game,
better than real Liverpool did.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But that happens a lot, I think, in modern football, where people live lives less, well, sort of more and less centered around the football in some regards. So yeah, that living another life where you're wrecked, or you get up at piss o'clock in the morning to watch the footy, and then when it doesn't go your way, it ruins your day emotionally anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're either horrendously hungover or
Still drunk.
well, yeah, or you know, on a different time zone, then yeah, it must feel like 10 times worse.
Well, yeah. I said when I was stood up, I felt like I was on SAS Who Dares Wins in stress positions because I hadn't laid out since Friday night. But anyway, we'll talk about the rest of what's going on, and I want to ask you about what everyone's saying. And because I was at the stag do with people from Preston who support the clubs and whatever. And everyone was, first question to me is, what do you think of Trent? And I was wrong for everything I said. So before I say what I think, what do you think about Trent possibly leaving?
I'm a bit gutted about it, to be honest. I don't think, I think there's a degree to which I'm not like young anymore, so it doesn't, stuff like that doesn't impact me in the way that it did for players in the past. But I mean, this is liquid football, Peter. Yeah, it doesn't impact me in the same way. Yeah. So I don't feel, I don't know, the super emotional connection to it that maybe I kind of wish I did in some ways. But there is an annoyance for me that players who are born and bred in Liverpool don't want to do their entire careers winning everything they possibly can and more for the club. I think the best way I did describe was, I think it was Kieran Molyneux said, like, you know, Liverpool fans want to make sure that Liverpool win more trophies than Manchester United.
Oh yeah,
and that's true of like Man United fans in reverse as well. So the idea of being good enough to actually help that happen on the pitch, and then almost not wanting to take that responsibility is where a lot of the extra annoyance comes from, I think. So yeah, I can appreciate someone wanting to try new things in life, but yeah.
But you said, man, is that what annoys me most is that he said, I want to stay here forever, and then it doesn't stay here forever. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I was trying to put across to everyone, is that because everyone's going, it's just because he's going on a free, and I don't think it is. And I think we spoke about this somewhere, where I don't know if we're allowed to say where or why. But I think my thing was that, you know, you can say that he thinks he's been captain because he's wore the captain's armband, but he's never been Liverpool captain, and he'll never be a Liverpool captain. But when he did that interview saying, I want to win the Ballon d'Or and all stuff like that, it just felt like then he was building his excuses. Yeah, ready to go. Well,
from what I'm told, that Ballon d'Or stuff is very much, it's from the Real Madrid playbook. That's how they pitch. That's how they pitch to footballers. So he clearly, when he said that, I think he was already in his mind halfway to Madrid. And I've had this in work environments where people come to you sometimes and say, "Oh, it's the money. They want more money." But actually, you know, everyone wants more money, but if you want more money because you're not happy in your job or you don't like your job and you think more money is going to make you like your job more, then that's not the case. And I think there's a little element of that where I wonder whether he's gone, I really want this Real Madrid thing. It sounds really cool, and you know, they've sold me on it. But I'll let Liverpool come back to me. And there was, have you ever tried to make a decision over something? You go, I'll flip a coin, and then it goes heads, and you go, no, actually, I'll flip it again. And you realise you actually know the outcome that you're looking for, even though you almost hoping that there'll be multiple options.
Well, will he be hated by Liverpool fans? Is maybe the simple question.
I think he'll be hated by some Liverpool fans. Whether that's a recoverable thing, I'm not entirely sure.
Well, that Legends game the other year when Torres came on, and he got the best reception behind Gerrard. Yeah, it's like people forget that. Yeah, he was getting booed and hated. Yeah, it's quite similarly. And
it took a long while for that to come around, though. Yeah.
But will Trent ever be given that chance? Will he come back in a Legends game and be clapped?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, that generation, will they even want to play Legends football? You know, oh, we're back on the race.
Sorry. Come on, have a sip. I'll make a sub. Yeah.
He's got some wheels on him. Like, I had a little run with him down the wing before.
I think a man's got to come on at half time, man. That seems about right.
Yeah.
I don't really know how we do this, though. Do we want to go more defensive?
I mean, Christ, I thought you were going back to the Roy Evans era then.
No. Cisse or Barros up front, who do you want?
Actually, tell you what, Barros isn't half bad, is he? Probably still Cisse for the pace, yeah.
Right. The subs are not very good.
I did video with Jibble said the other week when he was over for the Legends. What a lovely fella he is. He's amazing.
He's bossing the training as well. I can't believe how good he was.
Yeah,
that video of him.
He's very, very good.
The buttons here, honestly.
You got Milan Barros left wing.
It's not let me change him. Because I've already took him off.
Yeah.
So I just had to resume. Did your man's left wing for a bit? That's all
right. Sound. Yeah. I was thinking we had too much pace on the flanks there.
And then next thing is contracts. No, it's not. It's conceding the goal.
Devastating.
That's because we're taking Barros off.
Yeah, if we'd had Deep Man in front of the back ball, he might have helped to screen that a little bit. Come flying in there. I thought I'd done enough.
Just a little chip over there as well.
The question was, where were you? I was putting myself on the front lines here, mate. Look at this.
I'm a man.
I mean, Jamie Carr, I'm surprised that wasn't Thierry Henry doing him there. Yeah, it was a good finish. We'll let them have that one. Sorry, if they can score one, we can score one.
Yeah, contracts.
The crowd are singing "You'll Never Walk Alone." Everyone's pumped up for the comeback.
It wouldn't be interesting if we didn't go behind in this game.
Yeah. Historically inaccurate.
It was ever in doubt. I kept telling to everyone that Salah and Van Dijk were depot staying. I'm not saying I'm great. I just mean it felt like it was coming, didn't it, forever?
Yeah.
So were you surprised when you saw that Friday morning?
I wasn't surprised at the Van Dijk stuff at all. I think he's conducted himself like a man who's known that's on the way for quite some time.
That's a goal.
That is why you keep Jib say on. Rocket of a right foot. There you go, Jib. My mate.
God, that was well.
Oh my good lord.
I thought his finishing was good too.
He had an absolute thunderbolt of a strike on him. Yeah.
Wow. See, that could have happened if he come on an extra time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're having that. I mean, question marks over the goalie ever so slightly, but
that's the other one. At time of recording, I'm going to try and put it out there anyway. But when do you think the Van Dijk news will come out?
That I'm told that should be. Yeah, I mean, not. I don't. It's like a roundabout kind of thing. My reading of the situation is that should come out Wednesday, because I think they wanted to give Salah breathing room, and I think they wanted to give Van Dijk the same level of like everyone can get excited about this.
Yeah.
But obviously with the Hills anniversary on Tuesday, there's always a social media blackout from the club. So yeah, I suspect that'll be done Wednesday, if not Thursday. Right, okay, let's just go for him.
Okay.
Press the button.
It'd be good to know what we have to do here. Say again. Oh.
Dizzy man. He's got it in his locker.
Yeah, did you like the stories of, what was it, the 11th of April, one at 11:4 day? Were you sold by that at all? That did seem quite poetic, didn't it?
Yeah. Go on, I'm in for that. And I think Liverpool have become very, very canny. I mean, I've been covering Liverpool for 15 years now, and Liverpool were god awful at all this stuff when I first started, and now they're not. They're really good at it. So yeah, if they decided that was a thing, then cool. Go ahead, I'm all for it.
Oh no. Yeah,
there is also a thing sometimes with, like, let's take art as example, where you let out you do the thing and you let people outside create the meaning for you.
Well, that was it, because people were saying it was going to be a double day, wasn't it?
Yeah, and by all accounts, I do wonder whether there was a little element of that being the plan. But yeah, again, it does make sense to me. I think it's important to note that Virgil van Dijk signing a contract is as important as Mo Salah.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not against, again, giving them both their own day. Oh, he's gone for goal.
It's Gerrard,
greedy. Cool.
I've not the shot yet.
I've seen it. Yeah. I've seen a couple of little pop shots. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sounds.
And how long do you reckon they knew it was happening, and why it's only just been announced? That's the thing I would like to.
So that was a question I posed on our podcast this week, because I can't quite wrap my head around what made this week different to all the other ones previously, and I suppose there is I think that lots of business gets done in that March international break.
Right, yeah.
Lots of players get signed. Lots of deals get done. Oh, that's crap. There's often like breakthroughs in like player signings, and that's what makes sense with the contracts. I ballpark idea is, I think that it's given everyone a clear idea of where everyone's at. So I think Liverpool now know unequivocally that they're good enough to sign down to extra years of contract. They've not fallen off a cliff this season in a huge, noticeable way. This isn't like, I think Fabinho was a really big lesson for them, where he just went from being the best DM in the world to being miles off it. And I guess they get a good solid look at Van Dijk and Salah and go.
I was going to say, it's not the other way as well. They now know the players are good. The players now know the club's good as well.
Definitely. That's a possibility as well, isn't it?
Which I wouldn't have doubted, but I think that must have been a game plan or a thought in all of their heads. Is if Slot's terrible, we can get off here and still look good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, undoubtedly there'll be a consideration in there somewhere, but I think it gets forgotten sometimes because we think of football as being real transient people, but they've got their families are settled now and they've got kids, and and again, you got to look around at what are you trying to do and what are you trying to achieve. And I think, okay, as much as getting done by PSG put a bit of a dampener, it shouldn't be forgotten that Liverpool were the best team in the Champions League up to that point. And look, losing to a team on penalties can happen. That could easily have gone our way.
So much has been made about how good they were, and as you say, it went to pens. And we missed two.
But then PSG are out, and Liverpool are absolutely the favourites for that competition if PSG go, because they probably would have been going into it.
You're playing Villa, who it still would be hard, but you'd be favourites for that, wouldn't you? And then why wouldn't you be favourites against Arsenal? You're 13 points clear of in the league.
Yeah.
Go on then, and when are we going to win the league?
When? I have a lingering fear that Arsenal are going to lose to Ipswich and we're going to end up being champions in a shorter time than I think we'd expect. But what I want is it to be that the way it should be laid out, and that is Tottenham. Yeah.
Because what is it? They play Ipswich like 2 hours before we play Leicester, and then aren't they playing Palace in the midweek? After us?
So they play on the Wednesday next Wednesday. They play Palace before we play Tottenham. So if they lose to Ipswich and lose, I think it's right. If they beat us but lose to Palace, because that's the position now, right? Isn't it? Where
on that day, if they lose and we win, that's the 6-point swing. So we've won it. But if they win and then I don't even know how it would work. But yeah.
The 6-point win at Anfield. The 6-point swing is so much that we need them to win it at Anfield. Now we need them to beat Ipswich and Palace, which, based on their current form, is not stunningly likely. Which is funny because of how the anxiety of all this has worked. Where there's probably people who thought it was all going to come crashing down, and now we're like praying that Arsenal win games so that it's not totally academic. So I'd like it to be. I mean, look, ultimately, again, beggars can't be choosers.
I thought that was what I was saying. Is, did you ever think start the season you'd be asking early April, what game are we going to win?
No. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, what colour do you want your Ferrari to be? It's I'm quite happy to have a Ferrari.
Yeah.
In that regard, I literally don't have a Ferrari, by the way. Let's make that perfectly clear. That is an analogy. I'm really hoping. I really, really hope we get to see it. But I think what I really want is to be in the ground when they lift the trophy, and I will be. That's the kind of thing that really matters. I mean, I know we got the moment we got when Chelsea beat City in 2020 was actually a brilliant moment in and of itself. And obviously we weren't. I pressed the wrong button. Stupid FIFA control. That was it. That was the winning moment. We'll find ways to make that a good night, I think, regardless.
Yeah.
The slight thing I've got going is I am scheduled to be on stage in Dublin at a live event when they play Palace. Right. So, like, I could be I mean, this can go a number of ways. I won't be able to go to Anfield that night and soak it all in, but I will be with hundreds of Irish Liverpool fans, probably getting absolutely annihilated. So yeah,
worst,
yeah.
Well, that's it, especially as you say, that Chelsea moment was still good, and the pictures of that are great, but people were holding back. Not all of them, as you can see, but people were holding back. Myself included, we only went. Is that you?
It looks like it's me. I've never taken a free kick on this game before, so let's hope that this is how you do it.
Oh, it looks good.
Not so much.
But yeah, those pictures were iconic, will be iconic, but surely if it happens this time, it's going to be even more people.
What did you do that night?
Well, so I watched it with my dad. My mum wasn't well at the time, so we went on the edge of the thing. So I sat on my car outside Anfield and I had a smoke bomb with my pajamas on. So that's and that was me holding back. So we were there to sample it, and then obviously wanted to get more involved, but then went back home. But literally as soon as we won, he was like, "We're just gonna go to Anfield, haven't we?" So we were just in the car. We pulled off at the Tesco near ours. He just got like 6 cans. I was driving responsibly, and then he was. Yeah, we just watched it, but it was just to be there. You knew it was a historic moment, and I feel like it's just going to be the same. What did you do?
So I did. We were doing a watch along for the City Chelsea game on the off chance that something happened, and obviously it did. So we went off. I mean, given there was probably 3 or 4 of us at that time allowed in the office, so it wasn't like the biggest of celebrations at the time, and we were going to go back to Chris Pajak's back garden basically and have a couple of beers to celebrate. But I was like, as I drove back through Walton Village, everyone was out on the street celebrating. I was like, oh my God, if this is Walton Village, Anfield's going to be unbelievable. And I basically just drove straight past Chris's on the way and just went straight to Anfield. And a bit like you, I mean, I did go and get in and amongst people, but I was probably not there for more than 10 minutes. I think there was it
took about an hour to get there with all the traffic. And then there for about 10 minutes.
It was like, I still got and I think you're right. I think actually part of it was, this isn't it. This isn't the real thing. So I don't want to lose myself in this too much, because this means so much to me that I want to make sure that I've got something left, that I really feel it. And as it turned out, I never got to have that feeling in the end.
Parades and all that. You understand why it didn't happen, because no one expected it to take that long. But
I was even it took a couple of years for us to have another trophy parade when we won the domestic cups, and I was a little annoyed that we didn't just throw a replica Premier League on there, to be honest. Devastating.
No.
Devastating. That level of devastation.
Yeah, well, I've missed them all, because the last 2 have been, I've been on the way back from the finals, so I haven't been to either of the parades, and then of the last one before that, Istanbul, innit? And then I was in primary school then, so I haven't been able to fully enjoy
made a distinct point of making sure that I was back for that last one, because obviously the idea was to have a European Cup on top of it. I got a super early flight back. In fact, I've done that. Did after Madrid as well. Got a 7 a.m. flight back. Kiev, I was back in the middle of the night. So yeah, because those parades actually mean a lot to me. I mean, there's such a part of growing up for a start, but being able to take my kids, I took my nephew to the last one because my mother-in-law had taken me kids away.
Oh,
mate.
Shot.
That was it. That was the moment.
What was that then? That was a terrible way to end the game.
Rewritten history for the worst.
Sorry. You know what? That was because Steve Finnan and Dewey Traore went there. That's what went wrong. It was all Hossami's fault.
Yeah.
That's the end of it. We're going to do a full interview now, but that's the end of our present chat. But
I think we can safely say we scored goal of the game.
Yeah, well, you did, yeah.
I scored goal of the game.
It's nice to be here.
But it's a team effort. At some point you will have passed it to me in the build-up to that. So, so that's a team game. You've got an assist. Like all those Curtis Jones assists for Salah, where he passed it 1 yard and then he ripples past 5 men and scores.
You're right. And you should have done a better tackle there for Carragher.
I mean, some tackle was better than no tackle. Come on.
I thought you had it, yeah.
Is this the goal? Is this the goal?
Yeah.
That is a rasper.
Let's keep it shut the best. But yeah, that's our chat. I'm going to try and put this out as soon as possible. But yeah, thanks. I'm going to do a full interview, which will be in about 3 weeks' time. So stick around for Paul's Story podcast. You get to see more from me and Paul.
Don't Woody, while we're still in the same clothes. You know, we've been here for the whole time, just trying to finally beat Milan.
It's the best we ever did. Yeah. All right, we'll see you in a bit. See you next time. Thank you very much.
Locking eyes from across the room, heart is pounding. What have I have to lose? This kind of feeling tends to blur your sight.